Hey, so once upon a time, I went to the Railway Pub in Islington, and I saw this band that few people knew about called U2, and I got to hang out with them at their sound check before the gig because we got there really early. Well, a while later, they came to the States, and I was living next to Philly, and they played at a place that isn't there anymore, of course. And I was working as a waiter nearby, so I just went over like around sound check time, and I was coming up the street, and they were all stepping out of the bus across the street into the club, and it was just like a little cafe. It was called something cafe, I forget, and so they're walking across the street, and I yelled, Adam! Because Adam was like the last one going in the door. And he was like, who do I know in Philly? And I came up and I was like, hey, I saw you guys at the Railway, and I've been letting people know and telling the local DJs to play your singles and your stuff. And he said, hey, it's our first U.S. fan. So I used to cart them around. I took them around Philly. I gave them a book on diners to help them understand Americans getting together and stuff. And when the crowd started to hit, I didn't try to make it backstage and stuff because it was quite a scene and they were in the midst of their business. But I'm just making this video. If you know how to send this video to Edge, especially, Edge and I wrote postcards back and forth when I was living in Brooklyn. I moved from Philly to New York City, and I saw him a couple of times in New York. Actually, I was sitting on a bed in the Mayflower Hotel when Bono was banging out, I can live with or without you. And I took him for a ride in my 1960 Chevy with the flat fins, big old beat up black car. And they were so busy with music business that we didn't really get to hang out much. But I want to send this note and say, hi, Edge, man, what's up? Are you still taking pictures of people standing at bus stops? And I hear you've got children. And I got no babies at all. But as you can see, I've ended up being like a truth teacher. I teach people about the home honesty meal communion group model of church because I work with rehab centers. I work with outlaws and drug addicts, and I teach them how to have honesty times at home. I'm on dialysis. They poke holes in my arm and clean my blood 3 times a week. And I live in Central Florida, Bartow, which is between Orlando and Tampa. It's right in the middle of Florida. This is like cattle country. And I've got a bunch of cool projects going on. I teach kids in my neighborhood how to paddle a canoe, and I have a whole list of projects. I was working with drug addicts in Kentucky, and I learned how to start a 24-hour-a-day drop-in center manned by Jesus freaky people that are full of love, and you can just go there and hang out and work on the computer or make up something to eat or do your laundry or play board games with your kids. It's like a safe space, so you don't have to hang out over at Uncle So-and-so's house where they're cooking meth or doing drugs or something like that. And I help to plant faith-based rehab centers. And it would just really be nice to say hi to you guys. I mean, you know, like you're public figures and stuff, and I don't want to get mixed up in your thing, but, you know, we were friends a long time ago, and I just didn't feel like fighting the crowds. But maybe you'd like to say hi to me. Grandpa Honesty Guy is my video channel. GrandpaHonestyGuy@gmail.com is my email address, and my telephone number is 863-262-8181. 863-262-8181. And if you would like to interview me, I can tell the stories about meeting you two when they were youngsters. And I should probably turn it into a little book. It's really fun. It's actually really pleasant. It's a story of, a 20-something guy and his girlfriend going to live in London for a while and tour Europe on Youth Eurail Pass. It's a cool story. So anyhow, hello. Actually, I woke up. I had a freaky dream last night about Bono, and he was performing by himself, like in a funky alley in Philly or in some big city. And I went up to say hi to him. We chatted for a little bit, and then he was flying around the city by some kind of supernatural power. And while he was flying around, he started to say, stop the flight, stop the flight. And whatever power was flying him around wouldn't actually stop him from flying. It was kind of a disconcerting, uncomfortable dream. And I woke up and I'm like, wow, how come I'm thinking about the dude? So anyhow, I decided to make this video. Hello, I hope you enjoy things. If you know a family with an addicted loved one, if you know somebody that's freaked out, I know free faith-based rehab centers, free. The success rate is amazingly good. It's amazingly good, and it's a wonderful, just a vacation from your devices, from your peer group, and even if you're a Christian, it's a vacation from your standard church, which can sometimes have some problems in it. And I tell a lot of people, like I know a guy with a master's degree who just cut out of life and checked into one of these centers for 10 months because it's a sweet family atmosphere and you get friends with people and you learn how to counsel using the wisdom from the written word. And I've fallen into some cool stuff, I'm telling you. I slandered the church mess in America. For 25 years, I got this weird God crashed in when I was 37 through messianic prophecies and proofs. And my life has been very different since 1994 until the present. All the best. You're welcome to contact me. Text first, 863-262-8181. Steve, David Stephen, Grandpa Honesty Guy, David Jeremiah Bowden. My Facebook pages are David Jeremiah Bowden and Stephen Daniel Lintner. I met my birth dad when I was 40 years old, and I legally changed my name. How cool is that? Stephen Daniel Lintner, Lintner, or David Jeremiah Bowden, Bowden. All the best.